You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, it's AFTERBUZZ TV's Game Control Live.
Hey guys, welcome to Game Control Live. I am Kaori Takee, and across the way, we've got Gak.
So corrected.
Grant, or Gak. And right next to him is the Donell Tucker.
Thank you, Kaori.
Yes, thank you for saying my name correctly.
No problem.
And as you can tell, David Klein is not here. He is at PAX enjoying himself.
Lucky,
he deserves
lucky
it.
bastard.
And Rachel is
He
also
doesn't
not
deserve
here.
anything.
She will be back next week. But in the booth, we've got the spectacular, fantastic engineer, John Quick.
That's right, but you know what else you have in the booth, other than also my wife, Miss Erica?
Who else
She's
is
not
in
ready
there?
to get on camera, so, you know, invent other rumors about what I do and or what I call my wife. But you also have... She's like my second wife.
Should I inform the police?
phone number.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You have, it's 424-256-1729. Feel free to call in, give us your opinions, and if you're at PAX, even better.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, please call in. What's that number one more time?
424-256-1729.
Beautiful, and call in. And right now you are listening to this awesome ZMiX-Saturn Valley Earthbound mix by Sparta's
Oh my God.
716.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know it was Earthbound. I was trying to like, what is it remixing? What is it? Wow, it's crazy. They
It's
went
really
crazy
good.
on that.
Really, really good
Good
stuff. All right, guys. So this week we had some fun-filled Nintendo news. I'm a Nintendo girl, and I just saw this that Nintendo is releasing a 2DS on October
This is pretty
17th.
significant.
What? Surprise! And no one saw this one coming, right?
No, no one really did see this coming.
Came out of nowhere.
So it's basically going to be the same size as a 3DS. It doesn't have a, it doesn't have a bend. That's right. It's like a thin piece of cake.
Yeah, that's what they
basically.
call it. Or like a George wedge.
A
You can
door
put that-
wedge, yeah.
I
Stop
have,
that. You can use
I
that
have
for
seen
it.
the images of it as a doorstop.
Yeah.
Or an axe.
Or an axe. Put it together and kill some zombies in
Yeah.
Dead Rising 3.
So you know they expect to call. They're calling this basically the new gamers game console. I'm not console.
New gamers.
Handheld, pretty
Yeah,
much.
new gamers handheld. What did you guys think when this first came out?
I actually think this is a brilliant idea.
Really?
Because I've always I've thought the flip, I've enjoyed the Game Boy Advance. And once they started doing the SP and the DS, I was like, why do I have a flip component to all this? I miss the brick. I miss the Nintendo brick. Sony is a brick, PS Vita, PSP. This actually is this goes back to the heyday of that solid Nintendo system, which only purpose is to make your games portable and to withstand a lot of throwing around.
And could also survive a bombing during the Gulf War, apparently.
Ah, fun facts.
Well, you know that they actually say that it's one big screen and they
Yeah.
split it in two.
Right,
Which
right.
is brilliant because, given the amount of, the resolution of each individual original 3DS screen, it'll keep the production costs down. And it's
True.
God, it's a nifty way to solve that issue of the two screen, because that's been what's making it hard for an emulator or for them to cross-platform. You can't emulate a 3DS game on a Wii, for example. But it's an interesting way to kind of dice it up.
I'm just a little frustrated because I feel like they should be putting more effort in getting those Wii U games out. I know that handhelds are their best thing right now, but
Right.
it's not even being released in Japan, where it's the most popular thing is going to be their clientele will be Japan. So I don't know
Right.
why they needed to do this right now. Oh,
Reggie.
Sorry, I'm just getting that ready for later.
Okay, no problem. I was special
people-
guest Reggie, everybody.
yeah. People who are listening, we actually have John Quick putting scary images of Reggie.
That's about as
in the
scary as you could
meantime.
get.
They're not scary images. They're just pictures of him. This is like skipping ahead. Spoiler alert for the show. This is gonna be skipping ahead in the show a bit, but we're gonna have Reggie be talking about some nonsense, and this is the face you're gonna be seeing.
Yeah,
when we're gonna be talking about that. You're gonna be looking right at.
Donna, what do you think?
But see, my first reaction when I first saw the news, I was just like, this is stupid. I was just like, this is like, what are they thinking? Is this a joke? I really thought it was like, April is not until a couple of months, guys. You guys are a little early. But after I read more articles, more people go on hands-on previews, I understand like this is a handheld not for me. Like it's just not for me. This is for a younger audience.
Well, that's what their aim is.
And you can even see it on their box. It says 7 and under. And this is
oh, they really?
This is for the new kids.
Did it say that?
7 and under. Crazy.
Well, that's
Nintendo
funny
for 7
because
and
they
under?
have 2 screens that they can't really protect unless you buy that
You can't eat anything on
$12.99
it.
Right.
protection
You can't
couch.
eat anything on it. You can't pinch your hand on it or other
Right.
body parts.
It's child safe proof or child proof safe or whatever. But
Say that 3 times real fast.
I know. But it was something where I was just like, okay, I get what they're doing. They're coming out with this, hey, you want to give your little niece, 7-year-old, 6-year-old niece something. 3DS might be a little bit too expensive. This is a lot cheaper than the XL version, like $40.
Oh, yeah.
This is something for them just to play games. There's no 3D feature, so they won't mess up their eyes when growing up and becoming a mutant. This is just their way of reaching that market and then planning that for the future to get them on board.
You played with the 3D off, didn't you?
The 3DS?
3DS. You played the 3D off. Like Rachel plays with the 3D off all the time.
I have 3DS XL, and I don't understand why you would ever go backwards.
Backwards how? Meaning like
get
you
a
would
2DS.
2D. Like
to
you're always
remove
playing
the
in 3D because you're like, yeah, I
always
had the
playing in
feature.
Well, not even just the size of the XL screen.
Well, yeah.
That thing is amazing.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I take it to the gym all the time.
Not good for kids, though. It's too heavy for them.
This is a precursor to the Nintendo tablet, though. Like honestly,
Yeah.
Can you?
I was thinking of
can
like
you
that
say
too.
Can you see that like in 5 years, 4 years, maybe even sooner, considering that this is all one large screen, that the only thing that's separating it is a piece of plastic.
Right.
Is like this is a precursor to the portable tablet that Nintendo is making.
Well, this is what I say. Speaking of like Donell saying like April Fool's joke, just check out on the TV. This is an article from 2 years ago, an April Fool's article that basically predicts exactly this, and it
came true. Oh my God.
It came true.
It came true. You're like, haha, this is a funny joke, and then years later, oh my God, the machines—they've taken over. Right?
Even as
Someone at Nintendo
notice,
saw this
there's
and was
no
like,
fold.
That's actually
There's
a good idea.
There's
Why
no
don't I-
fold in this.
There is
Right.
no fold.
Exactly. They got it pretty much right. Instead of the controls supposed to be on the top, like they moved the controls instead of the bottom to the top screen a bit.
Yeah, that would
It's
make
where-
your like it's better that it's on the top because like,
that's where the most of the weight is. Because
no, I
it
mean,
seems
like,
like it thins out on the
Can you
bottom.
imagine all the weight is at the top
Flip it.
and like
Damn kids would break it all the time.
you get your
But
carpal
here's
tunnel
my issue
or
with it.
whatever the
Is
hell
that
is. Repetitive stress.
they called it a 2DS, and this is what I think it's going to be confusing. And if there's any, parents watching, be sure not to go up to those Best Buy employees or GameStop employees to say, I have a 2DS. I need 2DS games. Because they will be like, do you mean DS or do you mean 3DS? And it's a very confusing thing because it can play 3DS, but it won't have the 3D feature.
Yeah, which basically means it's not a 3DS.
Right. So, but it can play DS games. So your mom might be like, oh yeah, you want that Pokemon X and Y? Oh, I saw this one on the DS and it was actually Pokemon Red and Blue. And you're like, Mom! But but it's really smart by them releasing that and Pokemon X and Y near each other. Because that's a beautiful combination for these young kids out there.
Well,
they got to collect them all.
It's exactly the demographic that they're aiming for.
Right.
That's exactly what
And they're
it
trying to
means.
get into more of the handheld market because they're dominating that besides portable. Of course, iPhones, Androids, they're beating out them. But for handhelds, they're running the game. PS Vita, not so good. So.
True.
No.
And
Yeah, if they can get this into the hands of the North American audience quicker than the Vita, I would say they've got
I
something
think they
to
will.
go for.
I think they will. And you know what? That's not the only Nintendo news that we have. We also
Say what?
the Wii U is struggling, so their idea of helping it out is lowering that Wii U Deluxe price down $50. So now it's going to be the same price as the 8 GB white one.
Weird.
Yes.
Very weird. It's like, should I get not the deluxe or the regular with the same price?
Yeah, well, the regular one is also slowly getting off shelves. It's becoming non-existent. I mean, I think John might own one of the white ones, but I own the black one.
Loser.
I have one of the black ones. I have
okay.
one of the black
You're
ones.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
I wanted
you know
purple.
the old saying, why would you ever get a white video game console?
Interesting.
Wait a minute, I've
Wait a
never
minute.
heard that.
I never heard of that.
Don't you guys remember what happened to the original like Nintendo or even back then any of the electronics that came out in that oh so fashionable beige or off-white?
Yeah.
Like they ended up turning like yellow,
That's like the
grungy
MacBook. The
fingerprints.
back in the day MacBook too. Was like
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
even that like glossy like encapsulated white color ends up like getting smudged up all over.
Yeah, it's like it's also like the 360 when they came out. The
Oh, yeah, my
the white
360.
models were dying left and right. As soon as they came out with the black model, though, I mean, any one of those ROD?
Do you think the white version is going to be more expensive since it's now limited? Like,
No,
I'm just saying, like,
it shouldn't. I mean, they also have
as
the
a-
Wind Waker coming up too. They're gonna have that bundle coming out. So
right.
That's
But I'm
something
just
that
saying,
they're
like, as a
focused on.
collector, you're getting one of the, they don't make these anymore.
That's actually a really good point.
and
I
now
never
I'm going
thought
to
about
resell
this.
it for more because you can't find it anywhere else.
It's actually easier for them to produce custom cases now as well because that entire back panel is now like a much easier to replace and
Mm-hmm.
like the entire thing, the front panel, the back panel, it's all
Really?
one piece.
Huh.
Well,
Well,
they,
I mean, like,
they need to
each of
focus
those things
more
is one
on
piece.
bringing them games out because I'm not gonna purchase cases for something I'm not using.
I know, right?
Oh, I did. My PSP, like I had
Too late,
my
Kaori.
PSP, I had 2 games on it, but I had I didn't even own Little Big Planet, but I had like the Little Big Planet collector's like package with like the little case.
Get pictures of it. You're like,
and
oh
the
man, I
sack
can't
board.
wait.
It came out and it just wasn't as good as it was supposed to be, so I didn't buy the game. Collectibles are great though.
So did you guys hear about the bundle, by the way?
Right, the Wind Waker.
Yes.
Is there a physical copy or is it a digital download?
I am reading. It
I
is.
didn't get that.
It's a digital
So
download.
the bundle will feature a black deluxe Wii U console, a gamepad controller decorated with the Hyrule crest and symbols from the game in gold.
Cool.
A download code. So yes,
What? Wait a
for the
minute.
Wind Waker HD and a digital copy of Hyrule Historia, the compilation commemorating the Legend of Zelda series, and it's going to be 300 buckaroos.
But Kaori, I don't have internet. How am I supposed to get the free game of
do you
Zelda?
really not have internet?
I have internet. Come on, guys. I
Okay.
mean, but
I-
Okay, well, you're
I-
a
A
theoretical
scenario.
person. You're a theoretical person who doesn't have internet is poorly situated for the next generation
I
of
know.
consoles.
very, and they have to hop on board. But at the time, hey, you know what? My internet's not that fast. I'm still on the dial-up. I live in the woods. You know.
So basically, you're just saying that you are more of a physical copy kind of man.
You know, until technology can reach out, unless we
touch
get
you.
free
Touch
Wi-Fi
me.
around the world, like everybody can connect to the Wi-Fi around the world because Google launches their,
Their Wi-Fi
satellites throughout the
nuclear
atmosphere, the
satellite.
winds, and it spans across the whole world, and everybody can get free Wi-Fi. Hey, digital downloads, come on in.
I said this
But
in
until
another
then,
episode.
it's like people don't have that fast internet or internet, so
I
they're
said
like,
this in
great,
another
I don't
episode.
get this game.
I think we're right on the cusp of an actual significant revolution in internet availability to the point where it's like, how do you really know what's going to happen in 10 years? Given like the inexorable law that like our technology is doubling and
Right.
quadrupling over
Progressing at a high rate.
it just keeps on rolling, and there's like, and with that the cost and accessibility of that technology is going down. So I seriously think that like if you're talking about this generation of consoles like the Wii and like whatever mobile platform Nintendo has, and then obviously the Xbox One and PS4, like by the time they're done, like I consider myself a tech nut, and I have no idea what the internet technology will be by then.
I'm telling
Because
you,
you're
it's
Well,
all
talking
about
10 years,
having
you
free
went
Wi-Fi.
from dial-up to
everywhere.
broadband in 10 years.
That's true, and I'm really upset because
Like wide adoption.
but
immensely wide.
they're basically trying to annihilate physical copies. I think.
Yeah, and I understand
mean-
it. It's way cheaper. You can get out your product to a more vast community out there without going through a business that prints and puts all that up.
And most
I mean,
people
it's
don't
very
recognize it. It is a vastly more superior way to distribute
It is
Right.
true.
Very true.
DRM. You know that whole
Yeah.
issue with Xbox One and
Yeah.
when it started up, it was like, we don't want like DRM because like it's gonna make it like the one thing that would have worked in Xbox's favor is the fact that nobody can pass away a digital copy to GameStop or rent one from the Red Box or anything like that.
Yep.
So like the digital copies honestly are the way to prevent.
Well, that's
For sure.
piracy.
Here's the thing. Hey, I welcome
true.
digital downloads. That's what I prefer. I was like, yeah, let's
Doesn't
do
matter
that.
if you welcome or not. they're gonna
But
go
I
for
think at
it.
that time, just to say there's no other option. It's like you either have the internet to download, or if you're dial-up, you're going to be there for days. It's like not everybody has internet. Like it's not a very
I think
common thing.
everybody has internet.
I don't think everybody
everybody.
has it.
Really?
Yeah,
Not
you'd be
everybody.
surprised.
I
You'd be
talked
like,
to
I
them.
would be surprised.
here's the thing: they have
I talked to them,
TV,
they don't
they
have
have satellite, no internet, because it's like it's something that they're like,
Huh.
I just saw an
Now-
advertisement for the satellite internet, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's the 4th version of our satellite internet, and it can get up to 15 megabits per second." And I had to chuckle a little bit to myself because, my cable internet provides so much faster and like much more reliable support. But then I took myself back, and I was like, "Well, you know what? Not everybody has cable. They live out in like the
Yeah.
areas that they
Well-
need to use satellite, or
Right.
they don't. They don't have internet.
They don't
So
have
that's what I'm
internet.
saying. Like I understand what you're saying.
They like the
that
physical copy.
people don't have internet, and they're fine with that. But then again, most of those people don't have an Xbox either, and
That's true.
it's not.
That's
And or
very
Wii.
It's
true.
not.
Yeah.
It's not a high on their priority list to do that, and they're not like trying to make those pieces work. It's not like the person who lives in the Ozarks in the mountains where there's no K-bar.
I gotta get my Zelda.
Yeah,
Oh, I gotta go down the
God.
mountain.
They're going like, I've got
I had to finish my moonshine.
Yeah.
They're spending too
Forget
much
that.
time on
Go
this.
clean my shotgun, and then gotta go save Hyrule.
You know,
Go save Hyrule.
Typical
my digital
day.
version of
the
Hyrule.
digital download is going to be available September, and then you got to wait a month later for the physical copy.
Ah. Okay.
Are you guys familiar with the Wii U games coming out that they announced coming out this fall? Are you excited
I'm
about any
familiar
of
with
them?
them. I played most of them at E3,
So do tell, which ones are you excited about or not excited about?
I'm actually really excited about. I mean, like after what I played, I actually kind of like the Wii Party U, and I like the Super Mario 3D World. Like I like the way that those played at E3. The powers are really fun. The party game, I mean, it's
I love any
consecutive
Mario Party.
versions, but
Yeah,
this one kind of breaks out of like that whole like, oh, is it another Mario Party?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you own a Wii U?
I do not own a Wii U because I'm going to be the negative Nancy over here and be like, none of these games are really interesting. It's just the same thing. They're just selling me the same Donkey Kong, Mario, Zelda.
But they're all different, just
That's
like
it.
just
I will
like
say that.
Grant said.
It's
I
just-
say that those two are my favorite out of the ones I
It's
played
the
at
same
E3.
games that you
but
played in the
out of
80s,
the
and that's
10
fine.
games that they brought, like I looked at the Mario Party, no, not the Mario Party, the Super Mario 3D World, the Luigi World 2,
Super
or
Mario
whatever.
Luigi, Super
Yes.
Luigi,
Super
whatever.
Lu-
All
Luigi
three,
Galaxy.
three different
Donkey Kong
platforming
Jr.
games
Jungle.
were in my my peripheral vision at one point, and I was like, it's impossible to tell these games apart unless you play them for a couple of minutes, like more than a couple of minutes. Like I'm looking over there, that's exactly the same. Like jumping. It's like, oh,
It's just
and now they're all coming out at the same time.
there's nothing
Yeah.
like unique about the Wii U. Like other than its feature, I mean, like games wise, there's no new IP for it. There's nothing that's really pushing me to be like, wow, that is a very creative way of using this technology.
I just wanna see
rather
them
than
get
just
their-
Nintendo doing the same thing Nintendo does.
Well,
I want to see them
let me
do
hit
the
it.
same thing
Well,
that
they're
they
busy
do,
with the
but do
2DS
it
right
well.
now, so.
Well, let me play devil's advocate. There is the Wonderful 101, which
Oh, which
I
looked
initially
great.
was there. I initially like didn't really
Did you
give a
see
crap
the
about it.
trailer?
Yeah, well the trailer
10-minute-long trailer.
the trailer de-sold me on the game harder than anything it ever has. And then I played the game and I loved
convinced
it.
me there's more content here than I will ever expect.
It did the opposite effect.
I was like, I'm getting that, and if it's only $49 or $44 or whatever, like I would definitely get.
Did
that
you
game.
get Pikmin, by the way?
Pikmin
no,
3?
No, I haven't got it yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna wait
I
for
haven't
the
Nope.
price to drop. I
Again,
think the price will
another
drop a
game
little
that's
bit.
like it's great, but it's the same.
The one thing I have a trouble with the Wii U is that I feel like I need a couple people with me to play it. You can't play it alone. It's a console where you have to have a backup to
Wait.
play.
Corey, are you alone?
I'm very lonely, so come to my house and play Nintendo with me.
Dark Secrets with
So-
Corey.
Let's move on, guys, to That's a Quote, because let's talk about the very scared Nintendo man, Reggie.
Dun dun
He
dun.
basically says, meh. MEH. Meh.
Oh my God.
To the PS4 and 360.
Just so that everyone can very
Reggie
clearly
can do
see,
that.
this is the face. Go ahead and read the Mac quote. Let's
read
All right. Reggie told IGN, it's all about the games. The competitive systems have announced their launch lineups. I'm allowed to say meh. I look at our lineup of titles and I feel good about our lineup. We've got Zelda, we've got Mario, we've got Donkey Kong. In addition to great titles like Pikmin 3 and Wonderful 101, I feel very good about our lineup, and I feel very good about the value proposition we're putting out there for the consumer.
He's getting closer to being able to say that, but he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that quote again and again. We got great games. Don't worry.
I still think he's G.
E3 and doing
he's
their
a
press
boss.
conference.
Yeah.
He's a boss.
He's G.
He is a
He's
boss.
G.
He's G. He's OG.
G. Them not going to E3 and just doing, or they went to E3, but them not doing a press conference and doing their own thing and like concentrating more on the games and like kind of sitting back and being like, hey, we're not gonna champion the Wii U. We're gonna modify things. We're gonna modify the prices. Focus on the games. We're gonna secretly work on this 2DS thing. Like they're doing what they need to do. Like
Yeah, and that's fine. Like they're not really trying to push out a console. They're trying to really focus on pushing out the games. But again, the stuff that he listed was the same stuff he listed were the Wii.
Yeah.
And so it's just the same thing. And he has to say it because he's part of the company, and you got to say good things about it.
Well,
I
it's
also think
also
the reason that Microsoft and Sony have meh launch lineups is because they don't want to say, hey, this is the 20 games they're going to launch with, and then only 5 of those games come out.
But do you agree with him when he's saying that it's all about the entertainment value and it's not about the quality of the console itself?
His company has the most to answer for bringing out a brand new console this generation and not being able to provide entertainment value right out of the gate.
Boom.
That's it right there.
Well, yeah, no, that's
Rest my
I don't know.
case.
That's exactly my point. Like he's saying that I don't like. It's like, oh, we have so much better.
Yeah.
So much more games, so much better games. Your console's
They
been
are
out for a
just
year,
getting-
dude.
Yes.
They're just getting there.
And
so.
it's been the slowest launch in fucking history.
Yeah.
It was less
It's still launching. Pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
It was less of like it was less of a launch
point.
and more kind of like that bottle rocket that fizzes for a second and then you're staring at it going, what the hell, and then
And he's
it goes.
sitting there. He's pumping it again.
Yeah.
He's like,
Wait, guys, you wait.
He's going.
it's going.
He's like lighting it on. He's like, yeah, no, it'll catch.
Don't worry. But yeah, I think it's important that I believe that games do sell consoles. If there's a really good game, people will go out there to buy the console in order to play, and that's what's so important about
The Last of Us.
exclusivity.
But the Xbox and the PS3 have Xbox One and the PS4 have video sharing. They have like a much more well accepted community among Western audiences. Like I'm sure that in Japan,
true.
like the street pass and
Oh,
like
man,
all that
Japan,
stuff is
Xbox
much
is
more
just
integrated into the
not there.
community. But like here, it's like you're edging in on a market that is set to reset itself just as strong as
Yeah.
it was before. So it's like I understand what he says, but at the same time, it doesn't have as much legs on it. It doesn't have legs.
But
on
yet
it.
again, he is Reggie, and
he's G.
we must all bow down.
Yeah,
to
he's the only one that could say
Boss.
that.
Well,
He's the only one that could say it and get away with it.
on the flip side,
Meh.
Flip.
Pachter says
Pachter.
Pachter. Pachter.
Yeah, it's Pachter.
Pachter.
Why is there? Why
Yeah,
you guys
there's
put
a
a T?
Yeah.
PAT.
That's not Koori's fault. That's somebody
Anyway.
else's fault.
Says the Wii U price cut and the 2DS don't solve problems. Don't solve problems. Okay.
I know. It should be a song.
Not
So,
my problem.
quote, we expect the price cut to drive higher sales, but believe the Wii U will remain challenged by a lack of compelling firsts and third-party content this holiday, he says. By the time a significant number of high-profile Wii U games have been released, Microsoft's Xbox One and Sony's PS4 will have launched, creating direct next-generation competition and impacting any potential lifts from those titles.
Yeah, and if you look at the third-party titles that are coming out this fall, it's like most of those experiences I'd want to play on another console.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Watch Dogs, PS4.
Like, I'm not
That's true.
bringing Watch Dogs to the Wii U. I'm sorry, Reggie.
Sorry.
I mean,
No, I
if it
agree.
was my only console, then
Assassin's Creed 4
I-
Black Flag? Black Flag?
I completely agree. When Dave Klein was saying that he played Arkham City on Wii U, I was kind of like, really?
Really? You don't want to play on the Xbox 360,
And it
PS3?
came out a year later.
PSC?
You waited a year to play on the Wii U? Is that what
Really?
you did?
Is that what you
Okay.
did? Did you do that? He's not
Jeez.
here.
Corey's just hammering it down on him. Really? That's weird.
You actually did that?
So you guys agree with Mr. P? I'm scared of saying his name now.
Mr. P.
Mr. Picture.
I'll refer to him as Mr. P. too.
Picture, Patcher.
I agree with Mr. P.
Yes.
I agree wholeheartedly with Mr. P.
And I also do think that the Wii U price cut isn't going to help. The Wii U price cut is not the answer to get the Wii U more popular. It's to get good games out, bottom line, and sooner, and stop launching and just keep going with new things now.
New games out. The controller needs to be able to play every game. Drop that bullshit about like you need,
that's
like,
true. That's a controller thing. So true.
Yeah.
Drop that bullshit about like it making it so like, oh, you can only play some games on the controller and not have the TV. Like, every game
Should have that
That was
option.
the Vita. That was Sony's biggest problem with the adoption of the PSP and PS Vita, in my opinion, is the fact that like you want to be able to play all these expanded features that they're
onto
showing
there.
off, and one game out of 20 supports it, and it's not the game that I own.
Yeah. It's
So-
games you
Yeah.
don't want
Sorry.
to play, and you're like, God
Is you
dang
keep
it.
needing to buy new things to play to satisfy another game, and it's just a little frustrating. So listen to us.
Listen to us.
Oh, wow.
No, don't
Corey's
listen
is
to
taking
me.
charge.
Don't
He's
listen
like,
to me. Hire me. I'll be a consultant.
Hire me.
Pay us and then
me,
listen to us.
and then
We
I'll
would
tell
love
you.
it.
Please.
All right. So while
What's the next quote?
the next quote, I'm just staring at John Quick keeps playing around.
Stop
so
distracting
I
her,
get
John.
distracted.
All right.
Oh yeah, motion in the corner of your eye. You're just
You're
like,
just like, what's that? Reggie.
That'd be awesome. At least scary.
I know.
Okay. So next quote is Peter Molyneux.
Molyneux.
Molyneux. I know.
You know what? I
Why
speak
the X?
French, and it should be Molyneux. That's all I'm
Molyneux?
saying.
Okay,
But
go for it. Own it.
on Fable Legends, he elaborates on the lack of dog NPC.
Hello, dog.
He says, it's a shame this emotional driver, this emotional engine. I mean, there was so much more that you can do with the dog to focus on it being this thing that loved the player, and would sacrifice itself for you. I think we explored that in Fable 2 more than it was explored in Fable 3, and you can go back to that. It's a shame it's not there. It doesn't surprise me. It's a huge amount of work putting the dog in there. How do you guys feel about having no dog?
Like so much emphasis on the dog. I mean,
Well,
I remember playing
he thinks like that sort of way.
I remember playing Fable,
Very.
and I remember even watching Dan and you play it. And
Oh, wait, Lee,
or
keep
was
that
it, was
on.
it? Yeah.
By the way,
And-
guys, if you guys are just listening, John Quick posted a picture. It says, "Perseverance, still striving for mediocrity after all these years."
Yeah. So let's almost put a dog in there
Molyneux.
and not quite make it.
Pretty much.
Mediocrity.
He's in the article. He's really focusing on emotion, and
Yeah.
he's saying that like the dog puts so
I
much
read
emotion
the article,
in the game.
and I thought like, well, you don't have a dog. Not everybody has a dog. Not everybody's emotional experiences are only tied
Some people
to
are
dogs.
people.
I'm very tied to
Yeah, but
dogs.
it's not
I can
your
tell. Look,
only-
have you got a
mean-
It's not
picture
your only
of your own
emotional
dog?
experience, and it's not like if someone says to you, "Kaori, you're about to have an emotional experience," your mind doesn't automatically go like, "Oh, is there a dog involved? If not,
Well, no,
ain't gonna happen."
cares?
I think the dog might be like, for him, when he was creating those games, it was symbolic, and that was so important in putting emotion in that game. So
Right.
he's surprised.
And he did that already.
But he's surprised that the next Fable is not going to have a dog.
Right,
Because
'cause
he's
he's just
wondering
like-
how's the emotion going to
Yeah,
take
there's no
effect.
other way to communicate emotions. But I think it's just him thinking just one.
That is
one tunnel.
incredibly
It's just thinking it's just like
I'm
if
doing
you
the
don't
one
got a
tunnel thing,
dog,
too.
you can't express emotion. For me, I feel like you don't have a dog. Figure out how another way to convey.
So why isn't there
emotions.
like dog
through
in like?
through a cup?
Why
you can
wasn't
just
there
have
a
emotions.
dog in,
I don't know.
in any of his games he's created since he's left them?
well, because the dog wasn't the importance of the future other games that he's created.
Right.
Then he doesn't have an emotional
Yeah.
connection.
I mean, for me, like whenever I play a game and there's a dog, I get automatically emotionally connected. I know
Right.
it's really silly. Like in Skyrim.
If the dog gets
I'm
hurt,
trying to think about that.
you're gonna
The
protect the
dangerous
dog,
Minecraft.
right?
You're attached to dogs in Minecraft.
I don't like Minecraft.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really not that kind of Minecraft-y person.
Wow. All right.
Sorry, guys. I said it. I said
I
it.
think a lot of people are like,
Address all your
What?
hatred and vitriol directly at Kaorius on Twitter.
have fun.
Allow me to put it up there right now.
Oh, God.
There we go. There we go. Tweet at her right now.
I say, hey, if you can't do it through dogs, do it some other way. Do it through a cat, a chicken, a donkey.
But I mean, I think he's just trying to.
Chicken.
I mean, we'll see.
Oh my God.
We'll see how
That's so
things.
true, chicken. Sorry.
No, it's cool.
Well, you know,
Let Corey talk.
It's like-
We're
Let
acting
me
like
talk.
monkeys.
His eyes
I
pointing
have
out.
clowns with me tonight.
I know, right? Can't control us.
as you're
Need a whip.
doing your little like fist shaky thing,
Don't do that.
Make it into a gift.
All right, guys. So there is one more quote I want to mention. Is EA Games executive said that social media has changed how games are played, and this is his quote. We've been on that train for a while. I can't say we've been perfect, but we've done a lot. Like the whole idea of autolog and need for speed was because of a behavioral change in consumer minds. Sutherland said, if you look at how the smartphone affected your life, how Facebook affected your life, I can't watch TV without using a smartphone 5 times during a movie. It's ridiculous.
Okay, that's the thing.
That's what I thought too.
I was just like, I don't do that. I'm just saying, in a movie theater, you're supposed to turn your cell phone off.
Who
I've been watching The Bridge.
Snap.
And every other break in The Bridge touts this, like, get on the App Store and download the exclusive book for The Bridge.
Yeah.
Or, like, get on to AMC's 2-screen experience. Or is it HBO? HBO
I think
has
it's
that
HBO.
for Game of Thrones. Get the 2-screen experience on your iOS device.
Are you the
And I'm like,
voiceover?
You should be.
That's pretty close to the Bridge's voice. Pretty close. But either way, I've never booted it up, and yet I have my iPad right there on like the coffee table or whatever, and I've got my phone in my pocket. I don't find the need to it. I know some people do,
Yeah.
but not everybody does.
Yeah,
And I don't think it's like I mean, I will say this: EA is actually planning a lot of second screen experiences, and there are a lot of games, and most of the games that I enjoyed, like that, for example, that point in The Division when the dude comes in on the iPad, only the iPad, not an iPad connected to a home network that has an Xbox of the game. He's playing a mini game on the iPad, and all of a sudden a drone comes in and helps fight in that match. Like that to me is quintessentially marrying a lower res, like separate experience on the mobile devices with a higher res, like more expansive experience on the consoles is where the key
because I feel like it was like him when he said like a movie, like when you're playing a game, I'm not on my phone tweeting unless it's a really bad game, but
so why would you play
I know,
it?
but I know Patrick usually takes pictures when things happen, sends like pictures to everybody and being like, oh my god, did you just see what this happened? So he's in that realm.
Woman. Just kidding. Just kidding. Go on.
Take a picture of my food.
I gotta tell Patrick about that.
Yeah, we will. Hopefully he's
Kaori
watching.
just called Patrick a woman.
I'm being G on this episode.
I know. But yeah, so I feel like this is my experience, but I don't do that. When I'm investing into the game, I'm playing through the game, and after I'm done, then maybe I go and tweet. I'm like, unbelievable, that's incredible.
Right.
I don't stop, take a picture, then continue my game. So
but
it's part of social media. It's part of the now. How you were saying about how they're using iPhones and iPads and using Facebook and Twitter even maybe as an app to play your game in order to go into your main game.
Maybe what he's
that's an
talking
interesting
about is
way.
that he is so connected to his smart. I mean, actually, this is what I'm getting from it.
Okay.
He is so connected to his smartphone, and he's so connected to Facebook that he uses it inordinately throughout his day. Like he's just like using it constantly. It doesn't matter if he's watching a movie or that. It's not the fact that he's interacting with the movie via Facebook or his phone.
I think his point is saying that how games are being. Social media is changing how games are playing, so it changes how they're thinking about how to make games for people in the future.
Right, which you can see, which is like, oh, you know what? I'm going to work, I'm on the train, it's going to be an hour, I'm stuck in, all that mess. Oh, I can bring this out and play my game for a bit and then shut it off anytime I want, and I progressed on my home console, you know? And that's what's really cool about it. I wish they can create more games. I think that's what they're understanding. It's like, oh, you know what? People love Facebook, Twitter. They want to know what other people are doing.
Towards that, like the PS4's marriage with the PS Vita. Like if they can actually make it mandatory that there's some integration with that, or that the integration happens.
It's hard though.
I don't know how I feel about
but make it even more of like with Facebook.
There is a problem with that. They can't. Then the publishers can't cross-platform as easily, and that's how they make their money.
No, I'm just saying, yes, it is a little bit more difficult to cross-platform from one developer to, from one hardware manufacturer to the next. Yeah. But like you're finding it a lot easier to produce these games than it used to be. Meaning like they can use one development environment, and the development environment ports it to the individual consoles. Like adding on some kind of functionality is the key to like realizing the Wii U's second screen experience, the PS Vita, PS4. PS Vita, PS4 cross-platform experience. Even that for the iPad, the Microsoft Glass, like that is not some technology that's also directly translatable to the PS4 or the Wii U.
I just don't like the idea of when you said that you have to make it mandatory for PS Vita and PS4.
It's the only way that it works.
I wouldn't like it.
And you don't.
Well,
And,
so
and
sounded it.
I'm not saying that
Kaori
in
doesn't
order
like.
for you to play the game, you need to have an iPad or you need to have a mobile phone. I'm just saying, like, in order for the developers to bring the game to the console, they have to have some of that expanded experience. Whether it's whether it's the Kinect, and you don't have to use it, just build it into the game.
Right.
Don't make it
so you're
mandatory
just saying,
to
like,
play the game. Make it mandatory to deliver the game.
right. So if I'm developing for Sony, right, I make my game, they're gonna be like, hey, can you make a feature with the PS Vita? Because we gotta have that.
It's not that difficult.
Even
to
though
ask for.
I
It's
would
probably
want
difficult to
hey,
get it, but it's
I want
not
it on my
difficult to ask
the
for.
phones and mobiles because it's more. Everybody has a cellular phone,
One of those darn
smartphone.
cellular phones.
Dang, oh,
Who calls it a cellular phone anymore?
Well, apparently
Donell
Donell. So
I just did.
who are
Grant.
you judging over there, Grant?
Exactly.
My mobile phone.
All right, guys, let's move
Gotta
on
jump in my car
to
phone
our
real quick. One
gaming
second.
moment of the
Oh, my
week.
pager went off.
All right,
Sorry.
so
Telegraph what?
Gak,
Gak.
Yeah.
what's your gaming moment of the week?
My gaming moment of the week, I've actually had a lot. I've been revamping, I'm
can only
working with
choose one.
somebody. I've been working with
Yes, a
a
lot.
partner to revamp Nerdluster, and it just got done this week. So Nerdluster has been reborn as this more expansive experience. But I've also been playing Saints Row 4, as a lot of people have, and I find that I am falling in love with my character. I originally picked a male character in Saints Row 3. Saints Row 4, I decided.
But
like,
then he was like, I
No,
can't
you know
jack
what it
off to
was?
this.
What it was as I was going through the character creation
Love it.
screen, I flipped the gender real quick, and I was just like, boobies, butt.
Yeah.
And
I understand
like,
the sauce.
I couldn't get off of it. Like I wanted to continue seeing it, and I was like,
He
okay,
couldn't get off
I
of
want to
it.
dress it,
Oh my
and
gosh.
like I want to play the game as this. So I ended up playing the game as and I gave her a Puerto Rican accent and like everything. So now she is like this incredibly
my God.
sassy character.
What's her name?
And you don't name people, and,
Oh.
and I didn't name anybody.
Well, I thought maybe you might have named
It's
her.
me.
Yeah,
in your
outside,
head,
just like-
no?
I had Grant,
You're like,
female
oh,
Grant.
LaWanda, you know exactly what to
Female
say.
Grant.
Grantina?
So anyway, I brought along all these shots of my character in the game. These are not just plain old everyday shots from Saints Row 4. This is my character kicking ass in the game.
All right, cool.
Sharing.
And there's a couple, and my character.
Oh, nice.
Just
Dude,
describe for
character
the.
What's going on in this situation?
I love my character, but I'm not in love with my character. I love my character, and I'm falling in love with the God, I forget her name.
Okay, so for
hacker.
can you describe these pictures for the people just listening?
I'm nude.
All right, so
That's when they're like, okay, I'm done.
Let's go back to you apparently shooting things. We'll start there.
Shooting things. You can keep going.
So
Actually, go past the
Gactina's nude.
Gactina's
nude.
character,
You can go past the nude.
not Grant.
I just thought she looked pretty.
and then Gactina's on the streets looking G.
I was telling Rachel about this.
Sunglasses, deal with
I
it.
was buying clothes for her, and I got attacked. And during the process of buying clothes, my clothes were blowing off of me. So now I'm running around in the street in just a bra.
Nice
bra.
And then when I reloaded the game, for some reason, it gave me my clothes back. I don't know why.
You sound upset about that.
Oh, stupid game giving me
Go see the
clothes.
next one real quick.
I want to be naked.
And then we'll finish up. Let's see what is that?
Okay.
Whoa.
Yes. And I've killed a couple of these guys real quick. These are the lieutenants that
They're huge.
The
that
huge
the main antagonist
Diablo-like
has released
alien
into
creatures.
the world to kind of like battle you, and they're actually really surprisingly easy to kill.
well, because
Okay,
you're like
so-
super powered.
I know you got
instantly.
superpowers
Photo
and
of
everything.
monster.
Photo of
Photo of
monster.
monster, and then that's my gaming moment of the week.
That's
Yes,
pretty cool.
Alyssa's saying
pretty
it's
crazy.
Kinsey. Yes, I have a severe relationship with Kinsey. Severe.
Oh wait, we got somebody calling in.
Uh-oh, I
What?
see 847.
Oh,
7.
you are on Game Control Live.
Hello.
Who is this?
What? Is this who I think it is?
I hear people.
I hear lots of people.
Who is this? State your name.
Dave Klein.
Dave Klein. What the?
How are you? Are you excited?
I
Are you
thought,
happy?
you know what? I got a break in time. I need to call and check in and say what's up to all you awesome people.
Nah, thanks,
You're
Dave.
listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. Now, the largest
We're starting the show again.
I accidentally, sorry.
I was just like, oh, Dave comes in through the ceiling. Goosh. Welcome to Game Control Live.
He's in a
Dave.
parachute.
Yeah.
Breakdancing
No,
on the
that
table.
I accidentally typed on the wrong keyboard. That's,
Okay.
that's what happened.
So Dave's at PAX.
See, I figured you just weren't picking up because you were like, no. I'm not taking out that Dave. Screw that.
Well, no,
We
we,
don't want Dave
we
on.
also have another caller coming in as well. There's a plus sign. Can I add them to this call?
Let's
Try
try.
it.
Oh my God.
Try it.
We're about-
Merge incoming call. You are also on the air. What's up?
Hello.
I am sure that I'm interrupting what you guys were in the middle of talking about, but I just want to call in from PAX and say hey to everybody. Taking it from the Ubisoft booth.
Have fun at PAX, Dave. Take
What are you playing
lots
at
of
the
pictures.
Ubisoft booth, and then we'll let you go. What are you playing?
But I can't hear anything, so I'm sorry for interrupting you
No
guys.
problem,
No.
Dave.
I'll see everyone next week, and I'm sure
And
you
have-
guys are having a blast.
Have
I'll just
fun with
assume-
Dark Souls.
I'll just assume that he's playing
You did it.
Assassin's Creed 5.
I know he's at the Dark Souls booth somewhere. He's just like gravitating towards it.
Bye.
Bye, Dave. All right, now, so who's the other caller?
Next.
Who else is
Next.
Next to the line.
next in line?
This is Car? Hello? Hello? It's Car?
This is the parachute that Dave was on.
Apparently,
Reggie?
you guys.
You know what this
Are
is?
you
Someone left their phone on the top of their
Yeah,
car.
are
That's
you
what this is.
are you currently kidnapped and we need to find you? Is this like
my
are
God.
you like locked in the trunk of someone's car?
Someone,
Remove the tail
Oh no,
light.
no, oh.
Transfer the call.
someone butt dialed us is what happened. Right now. All right, guys. So Donell, what is your moment of the week?
Well, you ever heard of this game called Splinter Cell Blacklist? It just came out.
Yes.
Little Sam Fisher. I'm not in love with him, not as much as Grant's in love with his character, but I got the
Tina.
game. Instead of $60, I got it for $20. Saved a little money. I always love when I save money because
How did you get it for $20?
Well, I've there's
Okay,
a-
I guess that's another story, but
No, that's his
There's a
gaming
lot
moment
of
the week.
favors I gotta do.
Oh.
No, my good friend Chris, he bought the new GTX 700 series. I forgot
Oh, and it
760.
comes with a
Comes with
code
a free
for it.
copy, but he already has the game because he already bought it for 60, and he's selling it for me for 20. So that was my favorite. 'cause
Beautiful.
All my friends are like, get it. We can play co-op and multiplayer. And I'm like, I'm not gonna spend
multiplayer.
$60. No way. And then someone's like, hey, I got an extra copy. You want 20? And I'm like, okay.
and how do you like the game?
I haven't got it yet, but it's on
you
its
haven't.
way.
It's on its
I
way.
paid the money, Chris. Where's
My
my
gaming
code?
moment of the week is anticipation.
Yes.
But it's great. I mean, you got. I've been hearing a lot of like, it's so scary to be mechs or mercs. I forgot. Yeah, mercs, not mechs. Mechs would be a
Bringing
whole
back
different
the-
game.
Yeah, that's
Bringing back the Merc versus
Mercs because
the,
you'd be like, where are they? They're in the shadow. So it's actually pretty fun. And then also they got co-op, and I heard the dogs are pretty hard.
there's a lot of people bleeding.
So
in
there's
this
dogs in
trailer.
this game.
yes, there
There's
is.
people just bleeding on the floor.
I don't know if you're emotionally attached to the dogs in this game, but they're all dogs in this.
They're all dogs.
Doggy.
They're all dogs.
His unzips. I'm a dog. What do you do?
And you're like, oh, you bastards.
Oh, that dude just got shot.
John Quick, do you have a
that a
moment of the
dog?
week?
Well, I did have a moment of the week, but I believe it will anger Grant. But let's go for
Let's
it.
do it. I like
Alright.
angering people.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Plugging my ears.
Yep.
Hold up.
Dave, control.
So, yes,
Right.
we are waiting for John Quick's moment of the week. I'm excited. Oh,
So
yes,
it's-
it will
Yeah.
anger Grant. It will anger Grant because I see Dark Souls being typed in as
Not
we
only can you
speak.
hear, but you can see it.
Here you go. Aww, oh to his BFF.
Today we're going to talk about Quail.
So what is this, John? What are we looking at?
This is
a
this
love
is
story.
from Dave
As Mother
Control
Power
Live.
Missy, and one of the
This
most
is
popular
a
characters
Dave
in the game.
has in addition to Let's Plays, he has started doing a lore series on Dark Souls, and this is a video all about the one of the characters, Quailana. A very very talkative character, but not so talked about. And the reason I bring this up is I had a hand in helping Dave write this, and this was like the one thing Dave like had to finish before he left for PAX. He was like hell bent on it.
I can imagine.
So
So.
how long did you guys stay up?
Well, Dave stayed up much later than I did.
Didn't
'cause
sleep
I
for 2 days.
Yeah, didn't sleep for 2 days.
Good old Dave and his Dark
So
Souls.
yes, definitely go check out Dave Klein's
Yeah, get a little
Dave
educated.
Control Live, and if you are a Dark Souls freak like he is,
This is the
this
video you
is
want to see.
the channel to check out because he has a lot of cool stuff and his voice is soothing.
Yeah, it is. It is. But Kaori, you have another soothing voice, so don't worry.
Okay, well, this is my gaming moment of the week. Put your headphones back on.
We're done.
Huh?
We're done. We're done
Grant.
here. My
See no
gaming
evil,
moment of
hear
the
no evil.
week was just yesterday. They released a trailer for Wind Waker.
The HD.
I
Yes.
got it.
And
I
he's got it.
up.
And boom.
Boom.
Ta-da.
Touch that you.
So basically, this is the trailer that they showed yesterday of Link running around looking insane in HD. It looks very cartoony, a lot of fun, a lot of very Nintendo feel, of course.
The music is great.
Oh yeah, that's the best part of this trailer is the music.
Get ready for an adventure to
Sail the
around
world
the
to
world.
save your sister. Yeah, basically that. Let's go towards the end because that's when a lot of the action is. Well, a lot of it's everywhere, but
Let's get to the
it's a
action.
3-minute long trailer.
What? Metal Gear?
See, look, he's on a parachute. He has a magic wand. You know, it looks like there's a lot of things in this game. Master your sword and strike down enemies. Wow, Link has come a long way.
It has. Remember when it first came out? Everybody hated it. They're like, "What the hell? I want this
'Cause it was
CGI."
hard. It
and
was
I want
hard back
this.
in the day.
I don't like this cartoon look.
Yeah.
It was
And then
very.
we
It was a
fell in love.
divergence from the feel of the normal
Yeah, Zelda.
games.
So, but then we loved it.
Yep.
I loved it. I
So
thought it was
there
one
you
of the
go.
best.
It's a good gaming moment.
Yeah.
You know, we live.
We
the,
had to represent.
the classic.
So, all right, guys. So let's move on to our quick hits. So let's start with Machinima premiere. I say it like a Japanese person.
That's fine.
Machinima.
Because because every time someone says whatever, I'm
Machinima.
like, isn't it Machinima? But whatever. Okay, anyway.
Machinima.
They're premiering at PAX 2 League of Legends videos.
I love these videos.
Yeah.
Lol.
I haven't seen them yet, but they premiered at PAX yesterday, I believe. And basically, the first one, I'm looking for my notes. So the first one is basically one guy is a monk, and then he basically used to control champions in the League of Legends, but then he lost his eyesight and became a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then now he
something like that.
faces
He has a
Katrina, an
book.
assassin.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one is called Shadowfall. It's a 3-part miniseries, and they're 2 brothers, and one of them basically wants more power and does
Of
the
course.
evil thing, and then they have to go off against each other. Is basically what
Well,
happens.
these videos are expanding the lore of the League of Legends universe. It's
Yeah.
really good because like most people don't
Gives
realize it's
backstory.
not just throwing like almost 100 champions into an arena to fight. Like you are playing a character like. The champions themselves are actual champions of people that are controlling their actions
Yeah.
in arenas, and there's an expanded world outside of the arena
Yeah, exactly.
that they're all part of, and you are technically a part of as well. So
I'm
these
just not a-
videos, I like the trailer because the trailer only featured the trailer for the original game only featured a small amount of the actual characters, and they've expanded the universe so much. And getting Machinima to create live action versions of it.
here's
definitely a good
Here's
idea.
one.
Here's one. I mean, I'm not too much of a fan of League
So
of Legends,
basically, yeah, it's just
but
the
I
world.
appreciate the artwork.
I actually like Machinima's stuff. They had a Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
series.
yeah.
It
That
was
was great.
It was great.
Loved
So I'm really looking forward to seeing this. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but
I don't know. Sometimes I just can't take it seriously because I'm just
Why?
like,
Why?
I don't know. It's just
Do
like
you think they're gonna do a joke?
because
in
they
a
do it.
second?
No, it's not like a joke, but like they do it too much of the game that I feel like, and that's great because that's what you gotta do.
So-
but I just feel like, oh my god, it's just like her in a wig, and it's just not. I don't know. I just can't really like take this seriously and be like, oh, a man.
so there
a
he is, the blind
bad-
man.
Yep.
Yeah, we're for those listening, we're just watching the trailer, and basically it's becoming dangerous.
Like, see, it's like, I don't
fighting.
know. It's like, it's good. It's, hey, I love cinematography. I love cinema, but I can't take this seriously.
Can you imagine if
Where are
this?
the minions?
I feel like if
Before then.
Machinima made like a full-length movie, I would definitely go see it.
Isn't that like the point? Like they're ginning
I
up
hope so.
interest.
Oh
in
yeah,
I do
interest
hope
so people
so.
in the studios will give them
Are
money.
these the same people that did this? No, this couldn't be the same people that did the Street Fighter videos.
Street Fighter?
The live action Street Fighter
You mean
fights.
I don't think they were. Were they?
Because this isn't Machinima proper. This is a
Yeah, this is another company that's
Yeah.
going through Machinima. Same thing with the Mortal Kombat. It was another company, and the Machinima was like, "Hey, we'll buy it. We'll give you all that.
All right.
We'll give you all that.
Another-
Have
Give
it
you all
all.
that money.
Have
Give
it
it
all.
all."
Another quick hit. Did you guys hear about the New Zealand that
Yes.
they passed a law banning software patents? I
Oh my
read this
God.
article 3 times and I got really confused. So John, quick, can you tell us what it is real quick?
Basically, basically, it's a law in New Zealand that says that they're no longer allowing people to, like, if you like write a line of code or a very specific like piece of software, you're not allowed anymore to patent it. It's essentially all
Right.
considered like free and public, and anybody can kind of use it without having to pay you royalties.
Exactly.
How do you guys feel about that?
So in a point, let's just take an example.
I agree with you, Gak.
I think that patent laws, patent infringements and patent suits and like patent trolls have gotten way out of control. But New Zealand basically just like dropped an atomic bomb on the issue.
Yeah, they're like, it's open season.
It's
Go for it.
done. And honestly, no one's going to want to develop a game or a piece of software in New Zealand because of that law. They're basically screwing themselves out of being able to, like, there's no fostering of business in that country if that's what you're going to do, because no one can protect themselves from somebody just, like, copying it or stealing it for that matter.
Apparently it was like an easy thing to pass for them.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was just like, yes, yes.
They are a fairly progressive country as far as most of their laws are concerned. So there's a lot of freedoms that are afforded to their citizens that aren't given to especially with information and free speech, that aren't really given to even us. Like other countries.
I think it's a good thing. I like it. I like how, you know, you can not have to pay just because another company has this sort of code that you're like, hey, this would work in my game and I can probably make it better. I can use your style, but then make it even my unique style. So, like in an example, Capcom's, how you can in the loading screen can do something like, I think it's Namco Bandai has that patent where in the loading screen you can play a little mini game or whatever. Yeah. They have that patent. So any other game that wants to put a little mini game code in their now loading has to pay royalty, and that kind of sucks because it's like you're limiting, you're making it where it's like, well, we have long load time.
That's a great idea.
Which I can put mini games so it won't feel that long. Oh wait, we have to pay Namco Bandai.
My limit on the entire thing having to deal with patent, whether it's software or it's a game, is that it has to be truly ingenious, and it can't be like. It can't be designed just to prevent somebody from doing it. Meaning, you have to give other companies the right to license it. It can't be prohibitive. It can't be like anti-competitive. If somebody can do it better and they want to license it from you, you can't jack up the price just to make it so that they can't make their game or license that piece of software from you. But I don't think that it should be free for all, meaning like you say the mini game being played in the loading screen, but that would extend to so much other stuff. You would find would find people copying entire lines of code.
But see, that's why I feel like
entire programs for that matter.
Right, but that's it's kind of like if you copy just the code, then it's just the same game with the same art, right? With just different art, right? And then it's like, hey, we just sold our game because of that, and we're making. That's your argument, right? That's sort of like they can just take it.
If you think about what Super Meat Boy is, or Braid for that example, those are indie developers that struggled a long time to define their projects, and their projects are mostly defined by the programming that went into it. So if somebody can just take, like, this has become more of a problem now more than ever, is the Flambeer, the company that has made ridiculous fishing and Lufthansa, I can't remember the name of the like shooting one, but they've made a couple of games. Super Crate Box, like these games were copied immediately after they came out. If not for the content, the code that was released on other platforms for their versions of these games.
Right, I know what you're talking about.
Like, it's just too much.
They're copying the code and then putting different art, and it's not really that good, and it's horrible. But I think as a user,
and still getting sales.
Yeah, I wonder how much sales that is.
Joseph in the chat says New Zealand and Australia have the weirdest laws for gaming and software. Kind of true. Remember the Saints Row thing that just happened previously?
They do have
some.
Grand Theft Auto.
Going back to Saints 4,
add puppies.
Saints Row 4, that little tentacle thing. I don't see the. I really don't see the harm in it. Because I'm running around with this tentacle bat, and like, there's like, I can't do anything with it that would be considered lewd or lascivious. Like, I can't do anything.
It's probably just a cultural thing that we're just not aware of.
Yeah, I think it's.
I think describing it was what got them into trouble. Like, it's a tentacle on the end of a stick, and you can rape people with it. But like, actually, cannot be able to.
You don't see how they could like totally go. Wait, what?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
They don't understand
describe it, and you've got a problem. But show them,
and it's like, oh, it's not that big.
Show them the tentacle.
No, I mean show them the actual weapon.
I get it.
Because honestly, like experiencing a game like that would take hours and hours and hours and hours. And I don't think these ratings boards or these boards have the ability to go and look at all that stuff.
Right.
They have to rely on the company's description of what the game contains.
Exactly.
Alyssa White also comes up with a good point. She says she wonders if they're this harsh on film, books, and music. I kind of wonder too.
Music, you can't copy. You can't put a patent on style, right? You can't, because I think that's what's happening
Well, if they're
with
just harsh in general on like.
Skrillex.
Yeah, like you can't just because you made dubstep that sounds like Skrillex. Skrillex can't go to you and be like, I'm gonna sue you
No
because you're
more
copying my
Skrillex,
stuff.
please.
Yeah,
No more Skrillex,
we're done
please.
with that. But if you actually take his same like the music, like I guess sampling as in a sense, and take his whole music and put him in your music and then sell it, then that's again you're not changing it enough to make it different.
This thing wipes the board. It's like banning software patents. Hopefully, what it'll do is it just wipes it clean.
Clean and starts
something will
build it
be
up.
something will be written on that
hopefully.
board.
I don't want to get out of
That's
hand
weird.
where all these big companies start owning all these patents, and it's just like impossible to create a game. Like I can't create a game like a platform
Apple's
because I got to pay
patents-
EA and then I got to pay Activision.
Apple's software and hardware patents tend to piss me off whenever they drop because it's like these technology sites are like, guess what Apple is patenting, but it's never been implemented in any of their devices. So
They're just making sure that doesn't come out.
Like one of the things
so
that
they can control
patented
the
recently,
market.
and this is
That's what
fairly
you do.
relevant because it's a software patent. Apple patented this thing where it's like your phone can listen to a piece of audio that's playing, and an inaudible signal in the piece of audio can tell the phone to do something, whether that's visit a hyperlink or play another piece of music on the phone or on your laptop or on your home audio system. So what they would use it for is in audio advertisement sunk to your phone, or giving your computer the ability to sync up without the use of a network, like a wireless network at home or some really technological advanced piece of technology to sync
gum
the
on your
music.
finger.
Yeah, I know. It's like whatever.
Well, the people listening they can't see that, but now they know.
Shazam actually has that kind of technology already. Have you noticed that little like symbol that pops up in the lower left-hand corner as you're watching an advertisement?
Oh yeah.
How could Apple go out and patent something like that if it already exists? And you know that like it's whoever is the bigger company and the more expensive
Apple.
lawyers, like they're going to be able
here's
to
the thing. You have a
push
product.
the smaller, more inventive people out of the arena.
You have a product that's good. Then you know, oh my God, if somebody creates this product, it's going to kill us. So we're going to patent that product and never make it, so nobody can make it, and we can keep selling our stuff.
Like Apple's
that's the technique.
patents
So
on how like the home screen is organized. Like
Right,
really,
right.
is somebody gonna like
Somebody's
is
gonna come out with
gonna
something
edge
else.
out Apple out of
Yes,
the field by coming out
exactly.
with an icon that looks like an
It gets
Apple
crazy.
icon.
Let's move on
All
from
right.
Apple. I don't want to talk about Apple. I want to talk about Battlefield series not being annualized.
Yay!
Yay! Maybe. What do you
Maybe.
guys think about that? I mean, do you guys even play?
I play Battlefield.
I play Battlefield.
Okay,
3.
I don't.
yeah.
So
I'm going to be in the beta for Battlefield 4.
You
I'm a
are?
premier.
So how does this affect you knowing that it's not being annualized? Nothing.
Nothing.
I played Battlefield games for like 2 years or more sometimes. Like I go back and played
Battlefield 2?
21.
Never played that one for some reason.
Went back to Battlefield 2 a lot.
Yeah, I go back to Battlefield 2 here and there, but mostly it's like Battlefield 3, and then I'm excited for Battlefield 4. So, but it doesn't really affect me.
It's interesting that that's their tactic, considering that Call of Duty is like, we're gonna amp it up. We're gonna go. Not only we're gonna have two studios developing at the same time, like we ain't stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, 'cause they're on the rise. They're on the rise of maybe beating Call of Duty. Maybe.
Well, I think part of it is that, and I'm not 100% on this, but I think it's because Activision actually owned Call of Duty, which is how they were able to do that. But I'm pretty sure that DICE owns Battlefield, so I think it's one of those EA's putting pressure on probably was putting pressure on them to annualize the game series, and DICE said no.
Yeah.
You don't really have that kind of. I mean, I guess you have some of that ability,
See,
but you
that's
don't
what
have the
I'm saying.
ability to dictate because you want the money from the producer
Exactly.
and the
DICE
distributor.
doesn't have the
and,
money.
Like,
It's the
like
publisher.
They have the
EA
Star
has,
Wars. They have the Star Wars license. EA is contracting them to do the Star
Yeah.
Wars stuff, so it's kind of so
Right,
I think
but-
Where's my
that's like
bad
DICE's
company? Where's my bad company 3? Yeah,
Come on.
give me that right
EA,
now. I'll
get
play
DICE to
that.
do it.
All right. So let's.
Annualize that stuff.
So you guys played Last of Us, right?
Yes.
Yes. And did you guys hear this week that they announced a new multiplayer
Meh.
update?
Yep.
Let me pull out
Well,
Reggie.
what do you mean, meh?
Meh.
What do you mean, meh? There's
and
one
it's
thing.
$3.99.
Free
Wait.
99.
$3.99.
I love that.
So it's going to be awesome. I don't really play multiplayer, but I'm going to play this one.
Yeah, I mean, they have in the patch notes, they have like the new interrogation mode,
Yep.
which is you get to collect all the intels from all your opposite opposing force. You get enough
pull up that.
intel.
That's what
Reggie's
I
on the
think.
board. You
Reggie's like,
unlock their safe.
Reggie.
Meh.
You have to get into their safe and get the items. You beat the game. And that's fine.
Do you really
that's a
feel
cool
mad about it?
thing.
I think that's pretty cool. They're going to make it
Love
more
the
challenging,
game.
too, because you can't just kill people. You have to interrogate them, and you have to, like, take care of them before other people ambush you. So,
Exactly,
it's really
because
cool.
if you get shot, then they can take your
It was a
intel.
single-player experience that I was done with the first time through. And that's the reason they're coming out with multiplayer DLC is because they can't just be, this can't just be a one-off.
No, I think I think
can't-
like I mean I haven't entered the multiplayer world yet, but I'm sure there's a fun way to play it. I'm sure.
No, there's totally is. The one I was going to say was like in the patch that I think it's the biggest news is they're fixing the matchmaking because that was really broken. I think more people are excited about that than the interrogation mode. Even that's really cool mode and that's a really cool thing to do. People are going like matchmaking because I would play it. I'm like level 7, and I get matched up with a guy who's level 50, right?
Oh yeah,
and
the
they're all-
matchmaking.
And they're like killing me, so everyone's getting mad at me because it's like, oh my god, you suck. And I'm like, I'm
That's
level
still
7.
happening?
I don't have the weapons.
Now also
That's
they're
the kind of thing that you would think they would patch in the
well,
first
that's what they're
week or
doing now.
two.
Their update is
They're
they're updating
updating.
so that
And that's
you
what
are
I'm saying.
leveled up with the same people.
Exactly. They're like, we fixed
which
that.
is good.
So I'm like, yeah, that's the biggest news rather than the interrogation mode because I feel like everyone's like, yeah, that seems like a pretty fun thing. Then matchmaking, they're like, yes, finally, that's what I would pay free 99.
$3.99.
Yeah.
That's what should honestly. That's the kind of patch that should have come out in the week.
Should have
or two
came, yeah,
after.
not what is it? I think it was patch 0.03. So it must have been just something they were like, and then they're trying to fix it. But it's good because now I can play with people who are at my same level because it's all about communication. And if everybody keeps saying, "Screw you, you suck," it's not good. Not good teamwork. It doesn't help me.
Yeah. Well, I want
Be
to
a team
say
player.
one more quick hit. There's a rumor that Xbox is going to be released a couple weeks sooner than PS4.
I think just 1 week.
Yeah.
Just 1 week sooner.
Do you guys think that's going to affect the sales at all?
I think the
I don't.
release dates are pretty much set in stone. Like
Yeah.
I think the PS4 is going to come out at the end
November
at the end of
PS4 is November
November
15th.
Okay.
Xbox One November 8th.
Right, so that's
Yeah.
1 week
Halfway
before.
through and
But
the first week.
some people are saying, I think that happened to the Xbox 360. It was supposed to come out 1 week before, and then it got delayed, and then came out on the same week of PS3. Or no, I forgot if I.
Do you guys remember the days when the
360?
Yeah,
360 came out first.
360, there was a rumor that same thing. That's like, oh, it's gonna come out a week before, and then it got delayed, and then it got pushed.
It got
to
delayed,
one.
but it didn't get delayed
Do you
right
guys-
until the PS3 came out.
Do you guys remember the days when the PS2 came out and it was so impossible to find? Because I remember one time we had to go to the slums of Chinatown and get like a booted PS2 for $700. It was crazy.
Yes, yes.
So
this is
those days are
PS3
done.
3D.
Those days are done.
I thought it was the Nintendo Wii. I remember that was the crazy.
that one too.
That was crazy for months.
That was crazy.
afterwards.
Everybody wanted that, and it
Well,
was just like,
if you need a Wii
fight
U, it's
for
now
it.
available.
yep, there you go.
Oh, I
Wii U.
want a Wii. I'll
And
give you mine.
And I remember when the PS when the PS3 first came out. I think it was like one of the Sony execs said he'll put a bounty on every single PS3 that someone can find on the shelf and send him a picture of it. He said, I'll send you so much amount of money.
Oh, my goodness.
And so the Penny Arcade guys went out and were just like, yeah, we just made $10,000.
Oh my God!
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
crazy.
People making money, people robbing people in line. It was
Nobody's
crazy
got a
back in the
bounty
day.
this time.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
those days are over.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. I'm pretty
We'll
sure
never
they
have those
did.
days.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Sony didn't pay anybody any amount of money because
yeah.
they were just like, yeah, we were kidding.
Yeah,
when
it
we
was a
said that.
joke. No, okay.
All right, so last week Dave Klein asked, what did anyone think of Gamescom? And our viewer comment, ADV Xafan,
He's a fan.
It's a fan, excuse
he
me.
had to go today.
Who
He
is-
wasn't able to stick around.
Oh, he was previously in the chat. He said, for me, Gamescom was pretty lackluster. The fun was bleeding
Did
out of
actually
it.
spell it that
I'm
way.
trying to correct his
English?
spelling. Same old stuff from E3. The price cuts were crap, and then he starts talking about how crappy the price cuts were and all the other stuff. And so this week, we want to ask you guys, what do you think of the Nintendo 2DS, yay or nay? Stop over at YouTube or iTunes and leave your comments to this question
We'll be
or
watching
your comments
Twitter.
to anything.
Yeah.
We're watching Twitter
Or
as
Twitter
well.
as
So
well.
if you tweet us, any of us, or at Game Control Live, we'll probably remember that. Probably.
For sure.
Hey,
Yep.
Not promising.
And stay tuned because right after this, we are going to rewind way back in a time machine. We are going to rewind Batman Arkham City, which is one of my favorite games.
Aw,
So
that's
I'm
great.
excited about that.
It's gonna be a good topic.
Yes. So in the meantime, I am Kaori Takee, KAORIOUS. That is where you can follow me. Boys, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me, Donell Tucker, on Twitter at the Donell Zone. It's the sexiest zone to be. So, and I might be selling some games for really cheap. So you want to follow?
Now you want to follow him.
Yep, because I get pretty good games. Splinter Cell, $20. Anybody?
You haven't gotten it yet. You haven't gotten it.
Exactly.
All right.
He's selling it before he's even got it. What are you talking about?
Time to do business.
And Gak.
I am Grant Kohrmann, and my Twitter handle is @GAK.
Gak.
You can talk to me during the week, and I just posted a new article on Nerdluster, so go check it out.
And
Just been gacked.
John Quick.
And you can find me at Now Quick, and you can also find me second star to the right, straight on till morning. I exist in Neverland most of the time.
Beautiful.
What you doing
And-
there? Aren't you a little bit of
Well,
I know, they're like kicking you out. John, you're
I
getting
hang out with the pirates.
Okay,
cool.
And John Quick.
That's the only place you
John
can
Quick is playing delightfully for us Chrono Trigger meets Metal by 331 Iraq, which is great. I want to go play Chrono Trigger.
You don't want to rock out?
I just want to go play.
All right, well.
All right, so I'm going to go play after this rewind, and we will guys catch you next week or in a little bit.
About 5 minutes.
See ya.
This guy's great. He just did another one.
Be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Herein are those of the host only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or listeners.